Hey, everybody, Michelle is back. I want to go ahead and put up a series of videos on this Monday, recording them so that you can go back and listen to them at any time you want. Everything's on the YouTube page if you care to know. I mean, you know how to find me, and that's what I want to share in that regard. But I'm going to keep saying this until this is something that has to happen as soon as possible. How about that? All right, this is something that leaders of certain cities who control the police department, which usually is the case, usually mayors have more control over police officers than the so called deputies, chiefs, sheriffs, blah, blah, blah. It is extremely crucial. If you claim to care about humanity and care about the safety of people, you need to remove white police officers out of black communities, out of black culture, out of neighborhoods that are usually housed with people of color. Remove white police officers out of those communities and put them in these white communities that beg all day long, every opportunity, whether it's on the media, whether it's, and see, that's why I'm saying I know that the media is involved in a lot of perpetuation of false narratives, because every time I hear a white person on being interviewed, they always say that there's not enough police officers in their neighborhoods. And why is that? Especially like they said, they got $1 million homes. They're paying all of these taxes that goes towards the city. Why can't they have the majority of white police officers in their neighborhoods so that they can feel more protected in their $1 million mansions and their $1 million property? So that means that these so-called leaders of the police department are ignoring their population, the ones that pay your taxes and pay your salaries, and you're ignoring them. Okay, again, remove white police officers from black communities. Put them in the airport. The airport would love to see them, wouldn't they? I knew a chief that I know a chief that she was magnificent in doing that. Put them in the airport. You know, let these people see these white police officers protecting and serving, because that's the banner they live under. Isn't that correct? So I dare some of these mayors, non-black mayors, of course. I dare you to remove white police officers out of black cultures, out of black communities, out of black neighborhoods, and put them in these white communities where these people have these $1 million properties that they need officers to protect and serve. Okay, these people pay most of the taxes. Isn't that correct? And so now you guys are going to be focusing so much of your resources and budget on black communities and ignoring these white $1 million communities. If I were a white person and I had $1 million property, I would be up. I will be up. I will be going down to City Hall right now and say, why are these police officers not in our neighborhoods protecting our property? That's what I would do if I were a white person. I would go down to City Hall, demand to speak to the mayor like everybody else used to do with me when I was on the street, and people didn't like the stuff that I was doing on the street. What did they say? I'm gonna contact the mayor. I'm gonna contact city council. All right, let's see if that happens with the majority of white people that usually live in these affluent neighborhoods and these $1 million mansions. Don't you want your property protected? Don't you pay as much taxes to to pay these officers salary? So you need to demand that the mayor of those cities, which usually are white, that they pull these white police officers out of black communities and put them in white communities and protect and serve white communities. Because, everybody says that white communities love their communities and they take care of their communities. Okay, they don't want to be victimized, right? They don't want insiders coming in there and stealing all that they've worked for. Okay, so I would demand it. If I were a white person, I would go down to City Hall and talk to City Council. I would talk to the mayors and say, why are these white police officers that I pay their salaries are not protecting my community and protecting my property? Okay, I dare you. Actually, I dare you to do so. Peace and love.